how to kind of balance that. So overall, you know, I think we found our limit in practice yesterday, so we'll start a little bit behind today, but I think we'll have a good car. I think we were pretty fast yesterday before our wreck, so we'll work our way to the front and go from there. But it's going to be, I think the race today will be a little bit more eventful than yesterday. I think the Cup guys are quite a bit more aggressive in a lot of ways, so it should be pretty fun.
I was going to ask you about that. Did you look at it as you found the edge?
Yeah,
that's pretty much you found the edge.
Well, we fixed the wall for everyone. They moved it out of the way after that. So
yeah, we saw that.
We've been trying to get them to move it for a while, and they didn't want to move it back to where it had been, and so we had 2 cars go through it. So then we put it back now. So I don't think that'll be really an issue today. The chicane's very tough on the backstretch or the inner loop, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, that's the place where you can gain a lot of speed, but it's pretty high risk to do so. So it's kind of a balance on how you want to approach it.
Did you guys do anything to the car to accommodate for the turtles? Like, did you do any additional suspension or plates or anything?
Yeah,
can you do?
We beefed them up as much as we could. You know, there's only so much we can do to the cars to get them stronger without making them too heavy in certain areas. So we when we came here and tested, we really tore some cars up. We didn't even wreck. We just run in the racetrack and hitting the turtles here and there. It was breaking shock mounts and bending a lot of suspension parts. So we had to strengthen those up as much as we could, and we did. And we really haven't had any problems this weekend so far. Nobody's broke any parts or pieces in our Xfinity cars yesterday. Made it just fine. So we got a lot longer race, obviously twice as long, but you know, I don't think we'll see any issues.
Last question for me, then you guys will be thinking, but the running this inside of the track part, a lot of them, they spun the pace car out, for goodness sake. I mean, is it just total slick, having not had a car this size running on it? Is it just totally different surface in the oval part?
Yeah, it's really slick. You know, I think there's a lot of reasons why. The elevation changes, there's not a lot of banking. The aggregate they probably use in the asphalt and the infield is different than the racetrack. So there's a lot of things that are factoring into it, but it's actually way better than it was in the test. They used a tire dragging on it, and it got a little bit more grip, but also the tire we have to use here to run on the oval and also be able to run on the infield road course. Obviously there's a big speed difference there between our top speed on the oval and the infield, so it's a pretty hard tire, and when you get it on that slow infield section, it doesn't have a lot of grip overall.
Cool. You guys got any questions?
What is your fun factor for today, doing this roval versus just the regular oval?
I mean, it's fun by yourself. I'm sure it's going to be really challenging in traffic. I mean, it's a big challenge overall. The whole track is. I enjoy the oval here, but it is cool to come and do something totally different, you know, as a driver, and having a new challenge and something that you haven't done before is unique to NASCAR now. We've been going to the same tracks for, you know, quite a few years, and to change it up has been pretty neat. So I'm excited to see what happens in the race. It's going to be way different, but it should be fun.
When crashing on your practice run yesterday, what did it feel like? Like, did you go airborne, or?
You know, it all happens so quick. You don't really realize what happens. I don't know. I guess I don't think about it much. You know, I knew I was gonna wreck pretty early. I always tell people when they're riding in the car with me on the street that, you know, I'm like, I'll tell you if I'm gonna wreck, because I'm probably gonna know pretty quick and early. So you just get used to it over the years. You know, I've been in my fair share of wrecks, as have we all in racing, and you kind of know when it's probably going to happen. And when we were getting in the chicane, the 31 was checking up, and I was trying to get slowed down, and I was like, yeah, we're probably going to wreck. So you get kind of braced for it, and it's usually over pretty quick. So you're just hoping it doesn't hurt too bad.
If you go on Twitter, I think Instagram had it too. Yesterday, NASCAR's account had the in-car camera when he hit that wall.
Oh, wow.
So you can actually see the steering wheel yank his hands and take his hands off and see how fast it really happens.
We were actually in the infield when it happened. We're like, ah! You could hear it. Oh my gosh.
He was watching it over and over on our way over here yesterday.
We thought you were just gonna clear it and keep on going.
But when I'm watching back, I was
Like little Dukes of Hazzard style, right on over. Little Smokey and the Bandit.
That would have been nice if we just cleared the whole thing.
I have a question. What is your favorite track?
Probably Bristol or Texas.
We did Bristol for the first time this year, and it was fun.
Yeah, Bristol's great.
Yes, we did the night race.
Yeah, Bristol's a lot of fun. The night race is really fun. puts on a good show too, especially the way they've done the track the last couple of years.
Cool.
I got one. What do you think is the hardest part of the track?
Today, good question. It's probably the 2 chicanes, so the back stretch here, and also the front stretch. The back stretch is by far the most challenging corner because it's fast, it's tight, it's narrow. You can't really go side by side. And then the front stretch chicane, there's just a lot of speed to be gained there, and it's challenging. You saw the 2 car get in trouble and wreck there yesterday at the end of practice, so it's easy to get yourself in a bad situation. But there's just a lot of time to be gained and lost in those 2 sections. And in the infield, there's just not. That whole section seems long and hard and technical, but there's really not much speed to be gained or lost there. Everybody's pretty equal, so those 2 sections are pretty tough.
Where are the passing zones?
I would say.
You may not know yet. I mean,
yeah,
you watched yesterday.
I mean, the Xfinity race kind of gave us a little idea, but I would say restarts, trying to get as many as you can there. But if you're singled out, getting back onto the oval and NASCAR turn 1, where we come out of the infield, if you can get turned and pointed quicker and get up next to somebody into turn 1, NASCAR turn 1, that's a good spot. Out of the chicane on the front stretch, getting into 1, you can probably do it there. But those 2 spots, and then probably 3. Those spots right there now. So there's a couple. I think more than we thought there was going to be.
Where are your seats today?
We're in Chrysler, Jay. I think we're in front of 15.
Yep.
Our seats are basically right when you're turn 1, right when you're coming across the cross finish line, and then you make that. What'd you call it?
Heartbreak Ridge.
He knows. This guy can tell you any statistic. It blows my mind.
So can you just tell us how much you hate Kyle Busch?
See that? You see that?
I know, that's good. And that's not the case. I know
He's gonna crash today.
Hey, we need to get him moving on his schedule, but I would like to get a group picture. Maybe
We would
a
love
selfie
it.
with the post and
Yes.
some
That'd be
things.
awesome.
And would you please sign my
we
Daytona
can do
ticket?
some of that too. Sure can.
And you want to go grab our
There you go.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for seeing us.
Yeah, thank you guys.